Our Heavenly Father, we call your precious name, thanking you, Lord, for life, health, and strength. We thank you for this day. We thank you, O Lord, for all the ones that came and interested in government business. And we just pray, Father God, that as we go through the agenda and make the decisions, that the love of you would be, rest in our hearts, so we make the right decisions that will benefit the citizens of Newton County and to glorify your name. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. We'll call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum. I'd like to acknowledge everybody that's here today. Chelsea, anybody set up to speak? Okay. We'll close the public hearing. Go right into the consent agenda. Minutes from the previous meeting. KK's not here. She usually, do you know anything about how far caught up she is? Okay. Do we have any oaths, deputations, or bonds that have come in? I don't think we do. So on the monthly departmental reports, we have in the packet here the departmental reports from pretty well all of the departments for y'all to look over.
Okay.
Hold on, want your chair.
Fit my coat. They jumped out at me on the one for the board. Bill Pay jumped out at me. Big deal.
Yeah,
A couple of big items on that.
that's the appraisal district.
It has our 2026 budget out of 2026.
Yeah, but, right, district and the, grant,
Software, there was some software proposal.
grants, there was
Yeah.
big cost on grants. Hope that's coming back.
All the grants, we received that already, and we're just paying it out. We received grants, and then we have to, from the comptroller, we receive payment, and we have within 5 business days to pay it out.
Okay,
So that 167 for 17.
so that was
Money, yeah, money received, but money's, just turn right over.
need a note on that when you put it on before.
We usually do it, that doesn't usually be because of commissioner's court, we usually do it on a different day. We just laid it on commissioner's court day. So normally that's just a wash, we just do it, we get payment in, we usually get it out, and then we get the requisition in, and we put it in 25, 35 days. It does not have to come through court.
Okay.
Because of the fact that it is. We're gonna be having court.
But you couldn't, the way they're set up now, you could have court quick enough with the 3 business day, 3 working business days.
You wouldn't be able to, we never know when they're,
And it's not really a bill anyways, right?
no, it's
It's,
a reimbursement.
but it does get your ears pointed when you see it and don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we should have said it. But, you know,
It didn't bother me so much, I didn't call, so. And it's probably knocked out.
No.
Probably do.
All right, does anybody have any questions on the monthly department reports? How about, we don't have any continuing education certificates?
One there from.
Oh, wait a minute, we do.
McCall.
Mark McCall, Mark McCall went to, Fort Worth and, did, critical courthouse security, emergency planning, courtroom and courthouse security. So, and, need everybody say a prayer for Mark. He's in, Methodist Hospital, having some issues, so, but, we'll accept Mark's certificate of, on completion of the critical court incidents, emergency planning, courtroom and courthouse security.
I've got one question. We've got JP 1 and 4 report, but I didn't see 2 and 3 in this package. Did I miss it?
Have they seen it? So,
I think we had discussed last time that most of them may get sent to Miss Jennifer, and maybe I'm just not getting them. Sure. I can say they didn't do one, I'm just saying.
Have you received it, Ms. Ginger?
Yes, but it's their responsibility to get it to the judge.
Thank you.
all right. I make a motion that, we accept the monthly departmental reports.
Second.
Basically, I should, reword that to accept the consent agenda.
Yeah.
So I made a motion. Commissioner Hobson second. All in favor? All against? All right. We'll deliberate and consider action on the following items. Item number 1 is appoint Wayne Morrow, Robert Samuel, and Tommy Mullen to serve as commissioners for ESD number 2. That's Trout Creek ESD. That's 3 new commissioners on their ESD board. So I make a motion that we appoint Wayne Morrow, Robert Samuel, and Tommy Mullen to serve as commissioners for ESD number 2.
I second that motion. They're good men.
All right. Motion made by me, second by Commissioner Benson. All in favor? All against? All right, item number,
Hey, Judge, before you leave that item, I think it's every January, a number of commissioners on each ESD comes up.
yes.
Could, I don't know, could your office provide us with a list of the ESD members that are coming up so we can either reappoint them or ask them if they want to continue? I was contacted by one of the ESDs in my precinct saying, you know, we'd like to know if they want to continue, who's going to reach out to them. And I told them I felt like the judge's office would, but I'd bring it up today. So
Okay. I have spoke to some of the members of ESD number 1 and they would, consider, staying on. So,
this was specific to number 5, ESD number 5 in the pocket is where the question comes.
okay. And we will get that to them.
And it'd probably be good if all the commissioners just had a list, every year, so we'd know, just kind of who's coming up, who's not.
Yes.
Every ESD should have 2 to 3 that need.
Yeah.
Right.
And then every year that happens.
2 1 year, 3 the next year.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Item number 2, approve 2026 Violence Against Women's Special Prosecutor Project Resolution, which authorizes the district attorney to continue applying for grants that supplement the salary of the assistant district attorney.
Have that grant resolution. This is the same resolution that Courtney comes with every year. It's asking for authorization to apply for the VAWA grant. And this will be for the upcoming grant year, which is August 2026 to August 2027. And this I don't exactly know how much money it is, y'all probably do, but it's a certain amount of money that supplements the assistant prosecutor, not my salary, but the other assistant DA.
Okay. All right, and
Newton County has been applying and getting that grant since at least 2002.
that's what I think, so,
When I was the assistant DA in 2003 to 2005, it was under that.
yes.
Make a motion that we approve the 2026 Violence Against Women Special Prosecutor Project Resolution.
Second.
All right. Motion made by Commissioner White, second by Commissioner Benson. All in favor? All against? Well, you can for a second. It's a shared file. All right. All right, we'll move to item number 3. Item number 3 is discuss and consider changes or amendments to the county policy that allow employees the opportunity to transfer vacation hours to other employees if they choose to do so. So,
Okay, so I brought this up, in a previous meeting and Ginger was gonna do some research and met with her and, her recommendation, is that we not go this route. There's, the big issue there is if I had vacation hours and Prentice made more money than me, well, those vacation hours would be earned by me. And if I had 10 hours, and give him 10 of my hours, he would get it at his pay. So based on our HR guidance, I recommend that we take no action on this item. Not table it, but just.
take no action. All right,
Yeah, Misty also provided some documentation to support how difficult that would be, I guess is the best way of saying it. It can be done, but it would be very.
all right, so,
Pool can be done also. We discussed that last.
all right, Commissioner Powell made a motion to take no action.
Second.
Commissioner White, second. All in favor? All against? All right, item number 4 is discuss and take action to recover funds associated with the establishment of ESD 6. This line item is a follow-up to previous meetings where the county paid for legal services and other items, with the motion being preempted by a statement that the money would be paid back to the county once the ESD began collecting sales tax. And that's Commissioner Powell. Now, I do have a couple members of the ESD board here. I've got Charles Duckworth, he's the president. Alan Collier, he's, I don't know what office you hold on the board, but you're a board member. Okay. Now, they received their first check. What was that, at the end of December? And it was for September, October, and possibly November. Or was it September and October?
They didn't start collecting until October,
Okay,
so that would be for the month of October.
Okay.
Or November, best of my knowledge. Comptroller runs about a month behind on the collection part.
so the first check was received in. They're under contract with Allegiance. They pay 55, what is a monthly?
58,000 a month.
58 a month to pay for one of the ambulances. And, you know, but I was told they don't have a problem, you know, paying back monthly notes, but they'd like to see how much money they're going to bring in with the sales tax before they start paying.
And on this agenda item, I was the one that made the motion in the past that we collect that money once that money is available. I'm not here today to say, you know, we want it right now, but certainly just keep this,
Yeah.
maybe keep a line item in here to discussion or track, maybe not every court meeting, but once a month, look at what we've spent out originally, you know, with lawyer fees and what have you, and how we're going to recoup that for our taxpayers when it doesn't put the ESD in a bind.
We just need we need some kind of blazed off of it. I talked to Kate about it, our lawyer, same lawyer that's been representing since day one.
Yes.
And the way she explained it, the way she thought she understood it, interpreted it, was once ESD 6 was formed, once we were formed, then we would be responsible from that day forward with the legal fee. I don't have a problem with ESD 6 paying the money back because it's benefiting the whole county, as long as we are not struggling to pay for our ambulance a month. Because we have 2 ambulances we have to pay for, and it's $58,000 a month. That's without all our other bills. So as long as we're making that payment, I'm good with it. And we'll figure out how we can get it allotted and paid back to the county. And I'm sure the rest of the board won't have a problem with it. We have a meeting on the 20th right here in this courtroom, at 6 p.m. And, if the agenda ain't been posted, I'm gonna go ahead and have it put on the agenda today for our meeting on the 20th to discuss it amongst the whole board. But we need some documentation from the county from day one, because this is what it was spent on, line item, everything broke down. That way we can look at it and know what we're paying for. And we
Okay.
want to make sure that we're strictly for this election. But as me as president, and I'm speaking as me, I don't have a problem paying it back. I really don't. But we want it broke down. We want to see it line for line, exactly what it was spent on.
All right,
Fair
there,
enough.
yeah, there's no problem with that, you know. Basically, all it is legal fees from,
Yeah, it's not a great amount of money. It's just one of those things to where, you know, if you guys, once you get your feet on the ground and you got a surplus of money, what have you, just recoup that money back to the taxpayers.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
We're fine with that.
Good. All right.
It's just right now, we have no idea what our money for the year is gonna look like.
Sounds good. Well, I'll make the motion that we table this agenda item for future reference
all right.
or discussions.
Second.
All right, motion is made by Commissioner Powell, second by Commissioner Hobson. All in favor? All against? All right, item number 5, discuss and take necessary action concerning VFD radio communications. All right, this is, when we built the new radio tower in South County, basically, going digital, that's kept Burkeville and I think Toledo Bend fire departments from communicating with the sheriff department, you know, because of the digital channels. Now, the frequency, you gave them the frequency in October. So I think the problem is the money associated with programming the radios. So, and I'm not sure. Charles, could you elaborate on?
Joel, can you come over here? Cause we got, the audio won't pick you up over there. And there's people watching and it's,
All right, so go back to the radio. Start from ground zero. Once the radio is swapped, I've talked to Coach about it 100 times. It ain't that we switched to digital, okay? And it ain't just Burkeville and Toledo Bend. Anybody that comes north of FM 1414 on Highway 87, it don't matter if it's Deweyville, Trout Creek, Bondware, Newton. Once you get north of 1414, nobody radio works. Zero. Because Dry Creek has NC Fire, Newton County Fire, their repeaters in Bleakwood. Once you get to 1414, you can't reach that repeater. You have to be able to reach Mayflower repeater. Well, that channel is on that antenna in Bleakwood, so it will not work north of 1414. So that means anybody in this county that goes north of 1414 cannot contact.
So that's with the exception of the sheriff's department.
Right, the digital side would work.
What about the ambulance service? Can they communicate?
Okay, the radios in the ambulance are not P25, so they do not have the digital in them. All they have is their console in Jasper. So I just looked at the radios this past week. I'm there every other day or so, checking on the station, checking on everything. But them radios, I'm waiting on the answer back from my radio guy. Can he put P25 in them? If he cannot put P25 in them, then we're gonna have to change the radios in the ambulance. And it's already on my agenda for next week to discuss the radios in the ambulance.
But currently, right now,
But currently, right now, they cannot talk to the SO because they're not digital capable in the ambulance.
Well, what was it, about 10, it's over 10 years ago, the state mandated everybody to go digital. It's when they pulled all the digital, well, they pulled all the VHF channels from TV. The military needed the bandwidth, so they mandated everybody to go digital. Then it didn't work. You know, the smaller counties like Newton couldn't afford all the equipment. And it was my understanding, you know, we all had to buy dual band radios, but any radio sold now, pretty well was dual band. And now the state mandate, and any radio you buy now has to, well, with grant funds, has to be tri-band, which has 3 different bandwidths in it.
I have some new radios for Burkeville Fire Department. They ain't even been installed because about the time we got them with grant money is when we went to digital, so I hadn't even installed them. But they can have P25 put in them. But that has nothing to do with the 10 handhelds. The handheld is your lifeline. If you're in this courthouse fighting fire, you're across that street, one of the county offices fighting fire, you can't run back up to that truck and get on that radio and call for help. You need to be able to call for help.
Okay.
So in order to replace 10 handhelds for Burkeville, that's about $45,000. And we can't afford that. I get $4,500 a year budget for a radio.
Okay, so the handhelds you got are VHF only?
Yes, they will not swap to digital. Because we ain't updated handhelds in 7 or 8 years. So, I mean, the handhelds are null and void. They're paperweights. Now, the console radios that go to vehicles, I can put P25 in. But back to everybody, I mean, I'm just trying to make sure everybody understands it ain't just Burkeville and Toledo. It's anybody in this county that goes north of 1414 cannot communicate.
with exception of the sheriff department.
Correct. And before we did the radio upgrade, we didn't have, your law enforcement didn't have radio communication throughout the whole county. I mean, right here in the courthouse, you could talk wherever. You didn't have any radio communication. So that's something that we, you know, glad to do. But
Well, I think, you know,
So what would fix the problem? A repeater?
Well, me and Colton talked last week down there on the fire. We need an answer from the radio guy that put this digital stuff in and ask him, can he just add a channel? Because the equipment's there. So he ought to be able to just add a channel, a different channel, and make it like Newton County from one end of the county to the other, and every fire department to be able to access it, if he can do that, which I think he can because it's digital. But that's gonna come from a radio guy.
Okay,
I'll get with him and see.
but that doesn't solve the handheld problem.
That does not solve the handheld problem at all.
I think we need to do whatever we need to do to help them with the handhelds, because I mean, one line is worth it all.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is.
But, you know, if we,
And I'm not asking for 10 new handhelds. I don't need 10 new handhelds. If I had 4 handhelds, it would work. I'm good. Everybody else can still use their old radio, but they can only talk on scene. There's but one person and 8 people in my fire department that talked on that radio anyway, as far as contacting SO or anybody else, and that's me. Them girls and them other ones, they could care less about being on that radio. So we're not jamming up a channel. So that's why everybody don't need a new handheld, what I'm getting at. if I had 4 handhelds. That's all I need. I think I have one. Back when Olin was emergency management, EPS come through with a grant to give one, it's called an Apex 4000, when they first started the digital stuff. I don't know if it's too old to put the digital in. I think it'll work, but I'm waiting on that answer also. So that would be one of the 4. I'd only need 3 more. And then that would put me where I needed to be.
I got an icon you can have.
No. But
Got a keyboard.
But that goes back to, we gotta figure out the channel situation. But that's a radio guy. I mean, he's got to give that answer.
But we had this discussion in the past, Mark was here, and we had talked about having a channel for the commissioners to speak, you know, like during a hurricane and what have you. You don't have cell towers and such as that, different things. We could speak one to another. And what I understood him to say is each commissioner would have to get their own repeater.
Yes, and it was 4 repeaters, one in Mayflower, one around the Burkeville area, one in Lakewood, and then one on the Dugville. So 4 repeaters, but it wasn't digital. It was still the analog system.
Well, what I recall the conversation being was the commissioner, we have dead areas, just like what Mr. Duckworth was talking about. We, you know, when we send someone off on the maintainer, if they have a health emergency, you know, it literally, if they don't come back at the end of the day, that's when you'd find out, right? Because some of the rule. Where I was going with that is there's probably going to be some expense that the commissioners want to incur to get us a radio channel, or at least I do. And maybe if we package all of this up with the repeaters that we want or need,
Yes.
and then the repeaters that are needed to get that radio communication, it may reduce the overall cost just from the standpoint of they're out there putting up 2 repeaters. And
Well, I think Mark got a price on a countywide fire channel, and it was right a little over $50,000. And you know, that way every fire department would communicate with one another. You know, and breaking down the cost between, you know, the fire departments. I don't remember, it was $9,000 per fire department. And some of them didn't want to pay for the, you know, they're like, we have our own channel, so why should we pay for another one? So, but you take like Bonware, Burkeville don't get a lot of tax dollars. Toledo Bend, Bonware gets none. You know, they're basically on their own out there. And you got Devil's Pocket. You have Trout Creek and ESD number 1 that it does pretty good with their tax base. So it's other fire departments that are at the low end of their tax base and struggle to keep the equipment.
you know, thinking about Burkeville and this problem you got, you know, ESD1, where my precinct, they get plenty of money. They got a great system. They got great equipment. They do a great job, just like the folks in Burkeville. But the people that live in precinct 4, they frequent Burkeville. They got places at the lake. They fish at the lake. They hunt in Burkeville. So it's not a Burkeville issue. It's a countywide issue. So how do we figure out what we can do as a county? You know, if you go back, if the court says we're not going to pay for this, the ESD should pay. We can go back and say, hey, we'll get it done and then figure out how we can get paid back over the next 10 years or something like that, if that helps the court. We need to get these repeaters up. As I understand it, that's the issue. Is I didn't know about the handhelds, but I understand that there needs to be some repeaters installed to be able to get that radio communication to you guys.
Well, and it goes back to the digital guy, because I don't know what equipment they installed. And if that equipment's capable of adding more channels, you won't have to have repeaters and stuff. He can just go in there and simply build a program and come add it to the repeaters, to every one of them, and then it'd be up and running. If he can do that. But as far as I know, you can do that in digital. You can just build another software and add it to it, and then it'll be running.
Well, Judge, with
Well, yeah.
Mark being out, could we nominate either yourself or some member of the court to work?
I will get with the radio people, but I think we would have to apply for another radio license to do that with the
Well-
digital side.
Well, I'm not a radio guy for the record. I don't know the nuts and bolts that goes into it, but I believe there may have been a spare repeater that come off of maybe the south tower. And I think they were gonna rebuild it and keep it as a spare for the county. But it belongs to the county, maybe an option or an avenue to look at. I can get with Tracy and see if
They did
it would
remove
be
it.
compatible to that.
We just need somebody to own it and get us to the finish line where we get like you said, one life, what's that word, something from.
Well, I'll get with the radio people since Mark's out and see what it's gonna take to get a channel for where everybody can communicate. And then bring it before court next meeting.
And when you do that, Judge, if you would throw in there, if it helps reduce the cost, the commissioners are thinking about doing those things, just throw in all the options. And at least for me, I mean, I need a radio communication from vehicle to vehicle in precinct 4, because 3111, 3112, 3116, it's just dead areas and that.
All right.
And I've got a spare radio that y'all can use. Let me get that. There you go. That's on 55.
All right. So I'll make a motion that, I'll take action, contacting the radio providers, to, basically get a price on what it's gonna cost us to provide radio communications countywide for the VFDs and commissioners.
Second the motion. I guess. I mean, do we need to make a motion on it, or are you just gonna do it?
Well, I'm gonna,
Misty, do we make a motion, or does he just? I mean,
okay, well, it said,
you're just gonna do it.
take action. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna get with. Okay, but we don't need a motion on that. All right,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. Item number 6, take action to replace the obsolete printer copier in the Newton County Tax Office in Newton and Bleakwood.
Now, there's 2 obsolete printers, one in the Blakewood office, tax office, and one in the Newton tax office that we need to get replaced. The difference on the unit is will be, the cost of the unit will be $46.01 per month. Talking to Tracy, they both need to be changed out. Pass their contract.
Okay.
Contract. For different printer. The new printer.
They're 46 per.
$46.01 per printer.
Per printer.
Now that contract, they replaced the ink cartridge.
They do all the.
But, yeah, they do all.
That's like a lot of money, but when you consider the maintenance and the replacement of the cartridges, it's really not.
They just charge us per copy made, right?
That's any kind of extra. We get so many copies and then anything.
Okay. All right, I'll make a motion we approve to replace the obsolete printer copier in the Newton County Tax Office, and in Newton and Bleakwood. Second. All right, motion made by me, second by Commissioner Benson. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? All right, item number 7, discussion of appropriate, approve the purchase of the following patrol vehicles via lease agreements for the sheriff's office fleet. One is a 2024 Chevrolet Tahoe. Purchase price plus outfitting is $66,709.42. A 2025 Tahoe 4x4, purchase price plus outfitting is $81,478.98.
Morning, Commissioner. So this past year, we do all our vehicles on lease agreements. This past year, we paid off 2 vehicles. Looking to ask for y'all's approval for 2 new Tahoes. Using the lease agreement, the first payments are not due until 2027. Our monthly note will go up. I'm sorry, yearly note will go up approximately $10,000 between the 2 vehicles. If you notice, the price on these things are 2 specialty vehicles. One is going to be a Tahoe for our drone that we've had great success with. So several different law enforcement agencies in the area, they have there's a TV stand mounted in the back. So in the event we're ever on any situation, we can see everything in live time on a TV screen versus a small little screen. We shoot it. We used it on the dog fighting operation. Worked the fire department the other day. So yeah, I think that'll be a force multiplier. On the second one, Friday, our new K9 unit starts. We have bought a 4-year-old German Shepherd from Jasper County, along with its handlers coming over. K9 Rhino with his handler Chad Ainsworth. He's already made criminal apprehension. He's nationally certified for narcotics, narcotic detection, handler protection, criminal tracking and apprehension. So looking forward to that. That's going to be a force multiplier for public safety in the county. And with the the Tahoe, it's going to have to be fully rigged for a K9 unit, things like that. That's why the price is substantially higher.
I think Chad's gonna be a great addition to your team.
Been handling a dog since 1996, and that's one of my things. If you're going to do it right. And like I said, the dog's got a track record. He brought it by the office the other day, and all the employees were impressed about how good it listened and his his abilities and things like that. So, look forward to having him on board.
One thing Colton not telling y'all, he hired him away from jail over at Jasper County.
That was not the conversation.
Yeah, the drone, I'd seen something on Facebook the other day. I think you guys use that for Riverbank, right?
Yes, sir.
Now to me, that's pretty impressive. You don't put somebody in a boat. You got the ability to go down the river and get places that you would present. I mean, right now, if you go down the river, you better have a tunnel hole because you can't, gonna drag bottom. So I'm pretty impressed with that drone.
Another thing, last Friday or a couple weeks ago, a guy calls me and he said, I've got a horse missing. He said, I see y'all have a drone at the department. Drone, can y'all bring it out here? And that's, training for Captain Smith and the drone. Anytime you're flying it, you familiarize yourself, become more familiar with it. Anyway, long story short, we located this horse. So small things, but it's a way for us to give back to the community and, find this horse.
So the money, you're not gonna pay this money or start paying it until 2027, is that right?
Yes.
Oh,
Thousand per vehicle, I suppose. I can only have 101,000 budgeted for 26. So you're saying 20,000 more?
10,000 more between the two.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And that's a lot of 10,000.
12.5, I believe.
Uh,
12.5 is what we were paying. One of them's going to go up to like 15,000, and the other one's going to go up to about 19.
what is the life on a dog?
So he just retired his other dog at 10 years, almost 10 years old. So he would have another 5 years, hopefully 4 to 5. And everything obviously depends on injuries or, but in a perfect world, it'd be 4 to 5 more years.
Just curious. What'd you pay for that dog?
$3,200.
You ought to make that back the first drug seizure
Thing.
that's got money.
But like I said, the dog's got a track record. If y'all seen a couple of weeks ago, there was some bad guys on a vehicle chase or something that ended up in Jasper County. He was able to apprehend one of those. So
He actually come out with a dog thing as well, right?
yes,
Chad did?
yes,
Chad brings a wealth of knowledge. Plus, he's one of the constables.
in Jasper County.
So he lives in Evadale.
Yes.
That's a win for the Newton County because my precinct is almost in Evadale. That GIS Old Champion precinct, it's right there. He's literally 10 minutes from that precinct, whereas you're 60 minutes from it here and you're 25 minutes from the annex building. So that's a win. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and make the motion that we approve the purchase of the patrol vehicles listed in this Commissioner's Court for the lease agreement. And,
We're gonna go through Investar, that was formerly First National Bank that we used in the past, so it's approved.
I'm not gonna read the entire line there, but I'm gonna make the motion that we approve line item 7 as it's listed.
It's just some tax issues.
Yeah.
All right. Motion made by Commissioner Powell,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Hobson. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? All right. Open you up on item number 8. Discuss and if appropriate, approve Newton County Sheriff's Office to establish a credit account with Fuel Man for purchasing fleet fuel. Fuel Man does not require a contract to be signed. The Fuel Man public sector cards will be invoiced monthly.
So currently we have a Conoco, fleet. You can only get gas at Conoco. And, you know, it's not bad if you're working up here because they've got D's one stop there in Trout Creek, and we have a Dover account as well. But for the guys down south, they've got to travel into Orange County to buy fuel. And, I don't like that, you know, want them to stay in their zone where they're assigned. And, a lot of the gas, several of the gas stations down there, Fuel Man, you know, to do the Fuel Man. So we'd like to transition away from the Conoco and go to a Fuel Man. We've had deputies that are going to schools and going here and there and even patrolling the county that have to pay out of their own pocket to put gas in their patrol vehicle because you can only go to a Conoco and that pump may be messed up or it may not take the card at midnight or whatever the case may be. So I would like to think it'd be more efficient, user friendly for us to go with a Fuel Man rather than strictly Conoco.
Right now, like, I think Paige called me last week about transporting some inmates and
Yes.
same thing.
Yeah, same thing on inmate transport. If you go to South Texas or West Texas or North Texas, wherever it may be, we have to find a Conoco, and sometimes you're not able to find a Conoco, or it may be 100 miles away or out of your way. We ran into that. They've had to go 20 or 30 miles out of their way just to go to the Conoco to get fuel.
Do we have a contract with Conoco or?
Paige, we have a contract. Yeah, I don't know that we do.
We're just gonna add another contract to Fuel Man?
We don't need one.
We don't need them.
Yeah, we don't.
Oh, don't need it, okay.
I would like to get away from strictly Conoco.
I'd like to get away from cars leaving Newton County to go get fuel.
Right.
But DSD 6 would too.
Yeah.
Yeah, sales tax.
Well, I don't think there's any sales tax. You got state tax and the federal tax. But I don't think there's no local on fuel.
And another thing, based on the gallons that we have used in the past, I think we get an 8%, 8 cent discount per gallon, so. And also, Captain's been handling it, but they come with a roadside service. If one of the deputies are on a transport out in the middle of nowhere, they can call roadside service throughout the system.
I'll make a motion to approve Newton County Sheriff's Office to establish a credit account with Fuel Man for purchasing fleet fuel.
Second motion.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Hopkins, second by Commissioner White. All in favor? All against? All right, item number 9, discuss and if appropriate, approve an interlocal cooperation agreement between Newton County Sheriff's Office and Jasper County Sheriff's Office concerning the incarceration of Jasper County inmates in Newton County Jail. That's a new one.
Yeah. Yeah. So back in February, March, we ran into an issue that I was over capacity on males here in the county. Jasper, couldn't take them because they needed a place for 3 females to go. And if we could find housing for the 3 females, they could open up another wing and take our males. Long story short, we brought the 3 females over here, realized we needed a contract, before, approved before the Commissioner's Court. And we're not gonna house any prisoners for them. We don't have the space, but, instances like that, they can take our males, we take their females, and, if they needed to open up another wing, whatever, for that. Recently, they arrested or one of their correctional officers' family members was arrested. So they asked to house him over here, due to the conflict. And obviously we charge them the same thing. So it's a wash on our price per day, on that. Like I said, we don't have the room to house a lot, but on the case by case scenario that we do, we want to have a contract to make sure we're covered.
All right.
I
Well,
make that motion, and we approve the interlocal cooperation agreement between Newton County Sheriff Office and the Jasper County Sheriff's Office. Cooperation of the Jasper County inmates in the Newton County Jail.
I second. All right, motion made by Commissioner White, second by Commissioner Benson. All in favor? All against? All right. Item number 10, authorize the execution of a letter of agreement between Newton County and Newton County Emergency Services District Number 6. Now, this letter is, county is able to apply for a $350,000 grant to purchase an ambulance. That's all we can do with it, is purchase an ambulance and donate it to a qualified EMS provider. So as far as the letter of execution, the letter states that, Newton County will donate the ambulance to ESD number 6. They can't sell it, give it away. They can't do anything with it as long as it's useful life, and it can only be used for benefit of Newton County Emergency Services. So, and the letter is in our packet. If anybody wants to read it, let me find it out before the court. Yeah. Courtney, you got that letter? You're better at looking through paperwork tonight. All right. All right, this is a letter of agreement, and we did send it to Misty, and she has agreed with it. Letter of agreement between Newton County, Texas, and Newton County Emergency Services District Number 6. This letter of agreement is entered into between Newton County, Texas, and Newton County Emergency Services District Number 6 for the purpose of establishing terms and conditions for the purpose, transfer, and use of one ambulance funded through grant assistance. Purpose: Newton County will use grant funds to purchase one ambulance to support emergency medical services within Newton County. Upon purchase, the county will transfer the ambulance to ESD 6 for operational use, serving the residents of Newton County. Upon acquisition, Newton County shall transfer the ambulance to ESD 6 at no cost. ESD 6 agrees to accept the ambulance subject to the conditions outlined in this agreement. Use of the ambulance. The ambulance shall be used exclusively for emergency medical services that benefit Newton County and its residents. ESD 6 agrees that the ambulance will not be used for any purposes that does not directly support Newton County emergency response and public safety operations. Restrictions on sale of transfer. The ambulance may not be sold, donated, or otherwise transferred to any other entity without prior written consent of Newton County. However, ESD 6 may trade the ambulance toward purchase of a newer replacement unit once the ambulance reaches the end of its useful service life or becomes operationally obsolete, provided that the replacement ambulance will be continued to serve Newton County, and the trade-in or replacement supports continuity of medical services for Newton County residents. And it goes to useful life. ESD 6 agrees to maintain and operate the ambulance in accordance with all applicable laws, regulations, maintenance, and liability. ESD 6 shall be responsible for all costs associated with operation, maintenance, insurance, and repair of the ambulances. And they would assume all liability for use, operation, and maintenance upon transfer from Newton County. Compliance with grant requirements. Both parties agree that the ambulance shall be used in compliance with all applicable grant requirements and funding conditions under which the ambulance was purchased. Terms of agreement. This agreement shall remain in effect for the duration of the ambulance useful life including any replacement unit obtained through trade of the original ambulance. Entire agreement. This agreement represents the entire understanding between Newton County and ESD 6 concerning the ambulance and supersedes any prior discussions or agreements related to this matter. And it's got signature for myself and Emergency Service District number 6. So basically that protects ESD 6 in the county once the ambulance is purchased and delivered to them. So, anybody have any questions or concern with the letter or the agreement?
I move that we authorize execution of the resolution between Newton County and Texas Department of Transportation. That's the wrong one. I move that we authorize the execution of the letter of agreement between Newton County and Newton County Emergency Service District number 6.
All right.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Powell, second by Commissioner Hobson. All in favor? All against? All right. All right, we're skipping number 11. All right. Item number 12.
Yeah. Yeah, so, Haley applied for a grant. I don't think we're gonna be able to get it, maybe since the 2023 audit not complete. So we will have to ask y'all to table that. Just table it.
Let me know when you're ready to bring it back. Let me know when you're ready to bring it back.
Yes, thank you.
We'll bring it back as soon as the 2023 audit is completed.
Do we need to go ahead and table it?
Yeah, if think it'll come back.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I need somebody to do it. Otherwise, take no action.
Yeah, I'm gonna, yeah. I move that we table the authorization of execution between Newton County and Texas Department of Transportation.
Second.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Powell, second by Commissioner White. All in favor? All against? All right, item number 12 is approved contract between Newton County and ClearGov for budgeting software. This is new budget software. We actually tabled it 3 or 4 months ago. Wanted to make sure that it was compatible with net data. Demonstrations and stuff, they have shown that it works with net data. And I would like to proceed and go ahead and get the software.
Just want to let the court know that I have not been demonstrated, so that I don't know if it's gonna work. I did reach out to Orange County because they do use it, and they said that it has not worked for them. And they're actually not using it, it's just been a waste of money. So that's all I know, is that I did reach out to their auditor. But I have not been to any demonstration. Just want to look forward to that.
They have demonstrated that it did work with net data, and I feel confident it'll work. I think it'll work.
They demonstrated here, Judge, with our system.
Yes, they did, well, not in with our system, but they demonstrated it with other systems connected into net data.
Make a motion to approve contract for Newton County and ClearGov for budget and software.
All right. Motion made by Commissioner Hobson.
How much is it? Good, by the way.
Build and one.
And then, included in this, they come in with a team, they train everybody on how to use it.
So it's 13,000 annually. Is there any link?
There's a one-time service setup fee, $4,250.
That's where they come in and integrate it with the Newton County software and have the team come in to train how to use them.
This is going to help with the budget time.
Yes. Basically what it is, we'll be able to send each individual department, their budget. All right, and it's filled out online and sent back. You know, and then, each individual employee is listed in there. When, say you want to give a raise, you put in percentage raise, it automatically calculates, you know, or you can even do it for the whole county. It automatically calculates their raise and their benefits, without having to sit there and go each individual line item and do it.
And there's no 20-year contract.
No, it's like a yearly.
It's a yearly.
Yeah, so it says the customer shall have an option on an annual basis, not residing notice every 60 days. So you're not locked in. It also says that within the first 30 days of service, you'll have an option to terminate the service and get a full refund.
Don't sound like we can go wrong. I hear the auditor's concerns down there and I respect them, but sounds like you're gonna get 30 days to prove it here. So I'll second Commissioner Hobson's motion, approve the
All right,
purchase and lease agreement.
motion is made by Commissioner Hobson, seconded by Commissioner Powell. All in favor? All against? All right, item number 13 is receive presentation from Newton County Tax Assessor Collector's Office. It's got my name on it, but
Good morning. I have printed off, last 3 months. I know you have December's in your packet, but this is from October to present. I was contacted by Commissioner Powell in the DA's office and auditor's office to kind of go over what has been collected and taken care of during decided was appointed in November. October is quite a challenge. I won't make a lot of that, but we got it taken care of. Start off by reading the tax collections for October. The total county collections, $101,460.34. Portion of that went to Newton County was $74,415.76. The amount of refunds that were due and paid out during October was $2,239.53. Now, we had a change in our procedures during this time, how we did our refunds. In the past, they all came out of one entity. So now we do send a refund application to each entity taxpayer that is getting that refund, or the mortgage company. The entities are receiving a refund application to approve, so that it all don't just come out of GO1. ESDs receive theirs, ISDC receives theirs. And in saying that, I do have contact information and had great communications with ESD. I am still in need of ESD1. So that's precinct 4. I need a contact to get their approval on some refunds. In November, our tax collection.
Hey, before you go on,
Yes.
just, so you're telling the court that in the past, all of the refunds come out of the general fund. So that means that the entities weren't paying their part of refunds to individuals in this county.
From my understanding, and when I go back and I pull those refunds, at the previous leadership, those were all unmarked in that year. So, like I said, when we started, now that is October's as well. I did research and look into the refunds there. it does look like it started in October, that we started reaching out to each entity.
When it was addressed,
When
it was brought up by the auditor's office,
Just-
that's happened.
Yes. And I've worked with Sherry, to make sure each one of these have been corrected and they are done.
Moving forward,
Maybe.
and all the ones in the past have not been.
From September backwards, I can't really tell you a total. I know from just doing my job that Geo one was the one that was, paying out all refunds.
From what I've seen, it goes, and I just went back to 2013. It's 2013, so, and that's as far as I went back.
It all depends on how the overage is credited. If that makes it.
What I understand, what we discovered, it was all being credited. Whenever it was paid, it was being paid through all the entities. When it was paid back, it was only being paid out of the account.
Now, if it's a supplemental, refund, it was done correctly because we don't go in and we don't alter any of that.
So that is not what the appraisal office for. So that's another thing.
So this,
Because I don't offer any.
Yeah.
coming from them.
so this is something that the attorney's office is looking into. We'll get more information on it. Thank you.
November tax collections, total county collections was $634,931.58. The Newton County portion, $527,993.94. Refunds in November were $394.28. Now, that amount is down due to the amount of supplements that were left behind for me to catch up. I had over 20 supplements that I needed to process, and so there were no refunds processed during that time except for big one, which was an escrow overpayment. And then, do you have any questions before I read our December?
They're fantastic job. Thank you. We appreciate it.
I'm trying. So for December 2025, our total county collections is $2,055,529.13. This does not include our ESD that goes to the treasurer's office. Ms. Ginger takes the monies and distributes them accordingly into the general fund, Monroe Road. I will start at the top. It says grand total of current and delinquent M&O taxes, including all attorney fees, was $2,066,253.93. And like I said, total count collections is $2,055,529.13. I did get Cottonwood in, and I know they're looking, it would come out of December distributions, but unfortunately that will come out.
Which is fine. I mean, it's all going to the same place, just a little bit later getting it. So that check from Cottonwood, how much of that $6 million check belongs to the county? That'll be in next month's report.
Do know that it was a little higher than last year. Last year, I believe they paid in $5 million. This year was $6 million.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was it.
All right, item number 14, budget amendment. Do we have any budget amendments, Sherry? All right, we'll skip that and go to item number 15, which is payment of the bill.
$467,242.36. District Attorney State Fund, $45.48. Road and Bridge General, $39. Road and Bridge Precinct 1, $493.39. Road and Bridge Precinct 2, $722.15. Road and Bridge Precinct 3, $440.92. Road and Bridge Precinct 4, $769.43. DAW grant, $78. Commissioner Special Precinct 1, $345.20. Commissioner Special Precinct 2, $6,817.42. Commissioner Special Precinct 3, $5,283.85. Commissioner Special Precinct 4, $652.80. Record First Station, $287.72. Solid Waste Disposal, $4,696.98. Voter registration, $87.84. Law Library, $219. Dayton County Library, $5,664.91. Historical Operating, $406.81. Grants, $167,317.76. Technology Fund, $263.36. For a total of all funds, $661,874.38.
Like we talked about at the beginning of the meeting, the 167 for grants is really not a bill, it's
Yeah.
reimbursement.
And then we had their appraisal districts first quarter.
And also on the general fund, I wanted to also address that out of year 2025, we paid $170,725.69. And out of 2026 funds, $296,516.67. Where the $446,242 came from, that separated 25s and 26.
You know, what the rollover,
I don't, because we haven't got remaining bills from some.
in Road and Bridge?
I think I gave that to you the other day. It was like 300 and something thousand. I think I gave that to you. As long as there's no more bills that come out of Road and Bridge General.
You did quote that,
Yeah.
that figure, but it's been about a week or two ago, so I didn't know if it's built.
Coming out, and there was $39 that came out of that on here, the bill thing. So, like I said, the other, I don't know until we get, right now, there's 228,274 out of just the general fund, but I don't know if there's some bills outstanding in 25 that we have received. That's what the purchasing.
System.
Yes, that would help with that.
Yeah, I noticed you get to the end of the year, you see the commissioners quit spending money trying to, at least for me, not trying to figure out where I'm gonna end up, you know, that PO system will help us, I think.
Okay.
So that 300,000, that figure, could you send that figure when it's finalized to the commissioners? Because it's gonna be important to roll back around for budgeting next year.
Definitely for that.
Motion, we pay
I'm
the
actually
bill.
working on a budget analysis report for 25 anyway, for all funds.
Second.
All right. We got a motion to pay the bills, from Commissioner Benson, second by Commissioner Hobson. All in favor? All against? All right. I need a motion from the left side of the table.
Take the motion, we adjourn.
Yes. I'd like to.
Ask for an executive session.